2024 is shaping as a positive year in residential real estate, continuing the momentum that built up in key markets as 2023 evolved. Now, I don't expect boom markets, but steady and sustainable growth in most capital cities and regional markets. Just as 2023 defied the forecast of economists and news media, delivering solid price growth in most jurisdictions, 2024 will do better than the pessimistic predictions that emerged late in 2023. Now, those who predicted significant price decline in 2023 and 2024 have something in common. They all believe the biggest factor in play is interest rates. In the simplistic mindset of bank economists, movements in interest rates dictate what will happen with dwelling prices. Now, history has shown many times that this is false, and 2023 provided further confirmation of that. There were multiple increases in the cash rate, but prices continued to increase in most markets, proving that there were more powerful forces driving prices. And those elements can be distilled to one word: shortage. The Australian housing market has shortages of everything that matters. We've been building too few new dwellings, there are too few houses listed for sale, and there's an undersupply of rentals. The shortage factor has been exacerbated by high population growth, turbocharged by record levels of overseas migrants coming into Australia. And as we consider prospects for 2024, there are no remedies in sight. The building industry has myriad problems and can't produce homes fast enough. All levels of government, but state governments in particular, hinder development with restricted taxes and red tape, which slows everything down. Policy changes are invariably detrimental to investors, which deters the cohort that supplies 90% of the homes that people rent, and that worsens the rental shortage. The other big factor that will impact 2024 is the steady rise in buyer activity throughout 2023. The year began with weak markets in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, as well as regional New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland. But as the year evolved, sales activity picked up steadily until by the September quarter, these markets were pumping strongly. And this is the momentum that will create a strong start to 2024 in those key cities and regional markets. Meanwhile, Western Australia and South Australia and the state capital cities avoided the decline that was seen elsewhere in 2022 and continued to perform well right throughout 2023. But late in 2023, sales activity started to fade in Perth, and that was the first signs of decline in that city after 3 growth years. Adelaide, meanwhile, continued to show steady performance. The major exceptions to this general theme of strong sales activity and steady price rises are Canberra and Darwin. The ACT and the Northern Territory are the weakest economies in the nation, and that's reflected in their anemic property performance. So, here are my forecasts for 2024. There will be rising markets in markets including Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, regional Queensland and regional New South Wales. Steady markets will include Adelaide and regional South Australia, regional Victoria, Hobart and regional Tasmania. But Perth and regional Western Australia are likely to be weakening markets, no longer pumping as strongly as they were previously, while Canberra and Darwin will continue to be struggling markets. The emerging market sectors to watch comprise markets with affordable apartments, including inner city Brisbane, Melbourne and Sydney. In the past year, there's been a noticeable uplift in demand in locations with a high content of apartments in the mix, and more buyers are opting for units for lifestyle and affordability reasons. So overall, a positive year but not a boom year, with prices rising in most but not all markets across Australia.